I was out in San Diego 2 Sundays ago, and we went to this one little house church, and they asked me to present, and I did, and I talked about, guess what? Learning how to speak the language of the Spirit. So that's kind of what's hot on the burner these days. And so I talked about it a little bit. We did a couple activations, and one of the guys, good guy, I've known him for quite a few years, great group. They're moving right ahead in ascended life stuff, heavenly stuff. And he says, Mark, I don't see nothing. I'm just a blank. I said, don't worry about it, Bob. I said, don't worry. I said, I couldn't see either in the beginning. 30 years ago, I couldn't see anything. But I said, over time, it's growing. So take hope. So I'm moving on a little bit, and pretty soon I says, sometimes I pray for people and impart to people without words. And so I said, sometimes I take them by the hand, especially if I'm going to pray one-on-one. And if I think that they can handle it and not be weirded out, I'll just say to them, do you mind if I pray for you without words? And if you're comfortable, just look at me with your eyes. No pressure, but if you're comfortable, we'll look at each other with our eyes. And then, so I reached over and I took Bob's hand. And then while I was describing that I'm going from my head now down to my spirit, and I'm letting the life flow. Jesus called it virtue. I'm letting virtue go through. Now, I don't know what the virtue's needed for. I don't have to know that. Spirit of God, he's a perfect analyzer of what virtue is needed, right? So all I want to do is agree with the divine flow. And so out of my head, down to my spirit. And while I'm talking, I said, now, literally, this is just where I'm at, for many years. I feel it, even this moment right now. I feel it going down out of my arm through my hand. And, while I'm talking, and now I'm not really engaging with him so much. I am on my spirit, but I'm instructing the rest of the group what I'm doing just for learning purposes. And while I'm doing it, he starts kind of twitching, like, kind of like this, kind of like he's got a tick or something, And for him, that was pretty unusual because he's kind of a thinker guy, And so after a while, and I kind of go from teaching mode to doing mode, then back to teaching, all the while I'm holding his hand. And at the end of that, I said, Bob, looks like you're feeling something. He says, yeah, and it feels really good. Now, never once did I pray a prayer of impartation with my mouth. I prayed it with my spirit. Now think of this. Bob couldn't experience anything when we used our brain and English. But when I, best of my ability, went into my spirit and transferred, even though I was still instructing the room, something transferred that was picked up by him by a spirit when his brain couldn't process the previous activations. I don't know. It's just got me so, it's baited me, and I'm on the hook and I can't get off of it. And I don't want off. Yeah. I have a feeling our spirit probably has a much better receiver and comprehender than our brain. You think?